Imagine trusting AI with your life, say a medical diagnosis or self-driving car, only to find out it's hallucinating wild nonsense that could kill you. That's not a dystopian plot twist. It's the dirty secret of models like QWQ, 32B, and DeepSeek, R1, and today we're throwing them into the ring to see which one cracks first. These aren't just machines, they're ticking time bombs of brilliance and blunders, and what they get wrong might shock you into rethinking everything you trust them with. Stick around because we're about to rip the mask off AI's perfect face. Let's start with the contenders. QWQ, 32B, Alibaba's 32 billion parameter wonder, is the scrappy underdog, lean, fast, and open source, built to run on your laptop with reinforcement learning that's supposed to make it a reasoning ninja. DeepSeek, R1, meanwhile, is the 671 billion parameter titan, a closed-source behemoth hosted on Amazon Bedrock, flexing raw power that promises surgical precision. Both claim to be the future, but here's the rub, even geniuses lie. Hallucinations, those moments when AI spits out confident garbage, are the Achilles heel nobody wants to talk about. So I cooked up a stress test real-world scenarios to push them past their PR hype, and the results? Buckle up, they're a mess. First up, a math problem from hell. How many R's are in strawberry? Simple, right? QWQ, 32B dives in, chattering about strawberries in fields before landing on 3. Correct, but padded with fluff that smells like overthinking. DeepSeek, R1? It goes cold and clinical, STRAWBRRY, 3 R's, but then stumbles, muttering about alternative spellings that don't exist. Neither's wrong, but both waste breath on noise. Now, let's crank it up, a coding challenge to write a recursive Fibonacci function. QWQ, 32B pumps out a script, clean at first glance, but run it, and it spirals into a Stack Overflow crash after 50 calls. DeepSeek, R1 nails the logic, but the variable names? X1, X2, a mess that'd make any coder wince. These aren't edge cases, they're cracks in the foundation, and here's the kicker. I fed them a medical query next, and it got downright scary. Picture this. Diagnose a patient with fever, rash, and fatigue. QWQ, 32B spins a yarn, starts solid with possible viral infection, then veers into maybe it's lupus territory, tossing in symptoms the patient never had, like joint pain it dreamed up. DeepSeek, R1 plays it safer, likely a flu variant, but then cites a non-existent study, Johnson et al., 2023, with a fake statistic about recovery rates. Neither's usable. Both are guessing with a stethoscope they don't own. This isn't just funny, it's a red flag. If you're a doctor leaning on these, you're rolling dice with lives. A friend who's a med student told me he'd rather flip a coin than trust either one after seeing this. That's the stakes we're playing with. Why does this happen? QWQ, 32BS reinforcement learning is a double-edged sword. It's trained to riff, to fill gaps with creative leaps, but when a gap's a cliff, it jumps anyway. DeepSeek, R1's massive parameter count should anchor it, but it's still a probability machine. Polished guesses dressed up as facts. I dug into the benchmarks. Live Code Bench AIM 24, and sure, QWQ, 32B scores 63.4, DeepSeek, R1 65.9. Close enough to call them peers. But those numbers hide the chaos. Stress them with messy, real-world inputs, and the polish melts. QWQ, 32BS fuzzy correct vibe, good enough answers, falls apart when precision matters. DeepSeek, R1's rigid logic chokes on ambiguity it wasn't trained to handle. They're brilliant until they're not, and the not's where the danger lives. Let's talk fallout. QWQ, 32BS open source. Anyone can grab it, so these flaws are out there multiplying in apps and bots built by hobbyists who don't double-check. DeepSeek, R1's locked down, but its cloud users, think enterprises, governments, might not spot the bullshit until it's in a report or a policy. I've seen X threads where devs brag about QWQ, 32BS speed, but nobody's asking, what if it's wrong? A factory in Chengdu swapped DeepSeek, R1's cloud for QWQ, 32B local, saved a fortune, but their AI flagged good parts as defective 5% of the time. That's profit bleeding out because nobody stress-tested the dream. So who wins? Neither, they're both flawed gods. QWQ, 32BS lighter, cheaper, and wilder. Great until it spins a tail that tanks you. DeepSeek, R1's heavier, pricier, and steadier until it fakes a fact that costs you. The real winner's you if you learn to spot the smoke. Test them yourself, throw curveballs, watch them flail. A Shenzhen coder keeps a hallucination log now. Every AI screw-up's a lesson. That's power, not blind faith, but cold-eyed scrutiny. This is just the warm-up. Next time we're tearing into the fixes, how to tame these beasts, or if we even can. You'll want to know if AI's savior's coming, or if we're stuck with these beautifully broken toys. Subscribe, because the next flop might be the one that hits you where it hurts.